Kia ora Aotearoa, Met Service meteorologist Andrew James here with a look at your severe weather for the next couple of days. And this is all driven by a couple of things that are going on. We have a ridge to the east of us that does stop any systems from moving over this way, and we do have some low pressure in the Tasman, and those two combine to drag down warm, moist air from the tropics, which brings wet, humid conditions and plenty of heavy rain. And we've got quite a number of heavy rain watches and warnings out there. So, taking a look at what happens over the rest of today, we have this front in the Bay of Plenty that's slowly moving westwards but is bringing with it some heavy rain there, and additionally this low pressure in the Tasman bringing wet conditions to Westland. Then over the course of the next couple of days we sort of see a bit of a sandwiching of those two features moving closer together and bringing wet conditions right across this part of the map. So taking a look at where this is coming from, we do see over the next few days all of our weather is driven out of the tropics. The Southern Ocean tries to sort of get a hand in it but doesn't really get there at all. Everything is coming from the north. That means that we've got warm air. Warm air holds more moisture than colder air, so that's why we're going to see such significant rainfall accumulations over many areas of Aotearoa over the coming days. So do stay up to date with all the latest watches and warnings at metservice.com as the week goes on, because things are not going to be short-lived in this kind of event. So looking at what we have in terms of rainfall accumulations, you can see across the Bay of Plenty some pretty significant rainfall there, and as well on the west coast of the South Island, also northwest Nelson, Taranaki Moonga and the Central Plateau, as well as Northland too towards the end of Wednesday. So looking at what we have in terms of watches and warnings, kicking it off up at the top of the North Island, we do have this watch for heavy rain for Northland, so do take heed of that there. And then a little farther south, we have a warning in place until 11 o'clock Wednesday morning for the eastern part of Bay of Plenty, expecting a further 120 to 150 millimetres of rain there, peak rates of about 15 to 25 an hour. Looking across the rest of the North Island, we have a watch in place for in the Central Plateau and a watch in place around Taranaki Moonga as well for heavy rain there over the next day, so do keep an eye on that. Then a heavy rain warning for northwestern parts of Nelson, Tasman, northwest of Motueka, 40 to 60 millimetres more of rain in addition to what's already fallen there, peak rates of about 10 to 20 millimetres an hour. And then please know that further heavy rain is forecast on Wednesday and during Thursday, so the warning's likely to be extended sort of closer to the time, so do keep an eye on any updates for that. As well as this, we have a long period of watch for heavy rain in Bulla, and then down in Westland and Fiordland a couple of warnings. So Westland south of Otira, 300 to 450 millimetres of rain in the ranges and 100 to 150 near the coast, 15 to 25 mils an hour in the ranges, but it could be 35 millimetres in an hour on Tuesday afternoon again from Wednesday morning, with some possible thunderstorms over the next couple of days. And then to round things out, down in Fiordland north of Doubtful Sound, 200 to 300 millimetres of rain there, peak rates of 20 to 30 on Tuesday afternoon, and again Wednesday morning and afternoon with thunderstorms possible during those times. Do stay up to date with all your latest severe weather information over at metservice.com.